So I just did a show 5 episodes ago or so with my brother from who knows what blessed mother brought this dude to me. But we got in on philosophy and a few other topics. I have to ask because I've had this reoccurring thing over the past couple of years, and or 3 years, and it's a weird thing whenever you have someone pass away and it impacts you in a weird way. But the lesson I took from her existence was to it's a weird phrase and it popped into my head, but leave no shadows behind. Work as hard as you can to just leave no shadows, no negativity.
I dig it.
Kind of viewing existence as this odd thing. If there is no afterlife,
Right.
you know, if we're to be completely logical, biologically with the whole thing,
Right.
when you die, there's nothing. There's
Right.
darkness. Let's take it from that point of view. I'm not attacking anyone's thoughts on the afterlife. I'm just saying,
Whatever, chatting.
if this is what it is,
Right.
and there's no reward, what motivation do you have to be positive and be a good influence in people's lives, other than the fact that what you do is going to carry on for generations,
Right.
your children, the people your children interact with, so on down the line, until whatever small pieces of you that live on through oral tradition, and there will be many for you, when all those pieces are gone, you know, what is the summation of someone's life in that aspect?
Well, you know, that does it isn't that the afterlife? Isn't that your afterlife when you leave
I agree
that
completely.
legacy behind? Like, that really is what there is to look for. You shouldn't have to have some sky daddy telling you shouldn't do this so that you're not an asshole to people. Like, just
Yeah, the reward,
the reward is that you know that this
the
is going to
magical
be a
sky cake.
continuation.
The magical sky cake shouldn't be motivation
You
for you to
shouldn't
be
have
decent.
that. It's even if this is a complete one-off thing, right? It's we get here, we're born, we live our life, we die, that's it. Sure, fine. But what's the point then, right? That's what everybody, I guess, always wants to know is what's the point of this life and why are we living and why do we do that? How about live to live and live to help live, you know?
Yeah, but that's almost everyone that you ask this question to, or that ask that question, what's the point? They can't really come up with much of a point themselves.
Mm-mm.
You know, if there's no, well, you have this sort of predefined goal,
Right.
like that's fantastic. Or they'll come up with some odd abstract variables like, well, babies. You got to have babies, and you got to make sure that they're good, and then like a house, and then a wife, and you gotta change the oil in your car.
Absolutely.
You absolutely have to.
Absolutely. That part I agree on absolutely and completely is change the oil on your car. Because all the rest of it is just bullshit. You do what you need to do to make your life happy.
Yeah.
Because I think that really is the point of this life, is experiencing emotions, experiencing happiness, experiencing loss, having sadness, having, you know, all of these different things that we are actually allowed to do. If we die and poof out and there's absolutely nothing afterwards, then, or even if you poof off into a different kind of darkness and become part of the stardust and you have no feeling you've got this ethereal thing going on, either way, it still comes down to the point of living is fucking living. What is the point? What is to be happy and to find your balance of what happiness is. People check out all the time because they don't have enough happiness.
Yeah.
Take themselves right the hell out of the equation because of what? A chemical imbalance? Because that's what really happy is. It's your hormones in your body are being released to tell you that you're happy.
Yeah.
Same thing with sadness or anger or anything else. It's all a hormone release. You know, it's all chemicals in your brains.
It gets to another thing that I wrote down specifically thinking about you, and that is the odd thing with the spiritual. It can't be spiritual. We can call it spiritual, or just belief either in yourself or the process or whatever you possibly believe in, versus your brain. and
Right.
understanding what a bitch your brain is.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of times where, even like we were talking about the comedy and so many other things, where I know I have that little twinge of things,
Mm-hmm.
or there's that little sinking feeling. I was like, okay, brain, I know what you're doing.
Yep. That doubt.
Knock it off.
Yeah.
Because like I know it's this little chemical key that's fitting to the right keyhole right now,
Right.
and I really need you to fuck off.
Yeah. I need you to stop that. I need you to cut that shit out. Yeah. It's, with our whole life, I look at it personally. My motivation on life and living is, yes, I've had 1 million kids. So not just the ones I've birthed, but all the rest of them. If I want to make sure that I live my life in a way that it shows them being a good person and being a positive influence is really what you want to aim for. Because ultimately, when you help other people, you're also helping yourself. You're taking care of yourself. You can't take care of other people if you don't take care of yourself. So if you put yourself as the number one priority to make sure you're okay, it is so much easier in every other aspect, financially and otherwise, to even, financially, to take care of other people as well.
Yeah,
So
I
it
mean,
keeps pushing that living thing forward.
You can say it as simple as you got to pay yourself first.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody that runs their own business knows that phrase. You got to pay you first.
Absolutely. And I've been terrible about that for many, many years, but I have very recently figured that out. Actually had a crazy thing last summer. I was in a terrible place, terrible headspace, to the point of writing a very eloquent letter saying goodbye kind of headspace. And because Peter loved me so much, he's like, you're going to get help. This is what's happening. You're going to go on a vacation, or you're going to go see a doctor, or you're going to go leave something, go to Europe. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like you've got to do something to take care of you. And it took somebody else telling me to take care of myself, no matter how many hundreds of other people did the same, previous to that. You have to take care of you too. It never really hit me as hard as it did right then, because I realized I was not giving everything I could to my kids.
Yeah.
I was not giving them the mother that I felt like they deserved, because I wasn't taking care of me first. So instead, I am. I'm making sure that I'm working. I'm making sure that I'm eating now. It used to be so bad when I had my kiddos around all the time. About the only time I ate was when I remembered to feed them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm cooking their dinner and I'm eating a little bit as I am. And then once they're done, I eat their leftovers on their plate. So I remembered to feed myself, because I would remember to feed them. That wasn't a problem. That was something I had to do. I knew that I needed to do it. And kind of hypoglycemic, so the whole blood sugar thing goes up and down sometimes. And sometimes when I'm hungry, I just don't know. I'm not really paying attention. That's usually when hangry comes out too. Yeah. Right. But, actually starting to take care of myself and eating and working out again and moving and getting to swing swords at my buddies, so that when we get upset, we had a problem with the van starting up at fair this last weekend. We were all frustrated and upset. So what did we do? Kid up and we hit each other. And then the anger was dissipated. It was completely gone. And while we could have had a really upset, terrible moment and evening being pissy about this vehicle not working properly, which it did finally fire up when we got it moved, but we could have been really upset all night. Instead, Patrick and Pete picked up swords. They beat the hell out of each other after me and Justin put their full kits on them, which was hilarious with them in their kit the first time. That they were like, this takes forever. It took them like 40 minutes just to put everything on. I was like, come on, guys, chop, chop. Let's get moving. Let's do this. We got the cars running. We're running out of gas and daylight. And
so clearly you believe, and not just in the process of like working out someone's knots or putting something back into place, like inflicting pain on someone it can
be very, very therapeutic. Yeah. We need an outlet for our aggression. We did not have people showing up, shooting up schools when we could still peg our friends in the face with a dodgeball.
Yeah.
Okay. When I was, and I'll show a little bit of my age, and it's not, I'm 33. When I was in high school, we still had people showing up with shotguns in their gun racks in their trucks because that was just a thing. Now, by the time I got to my third year in high school, which was my senior year, leaving and graduating early and all that, they changed everything. You couldn't have any of that there. And that's really when we saw a lot more fights breaking out in the parking lots and after hours and stuff like that, is when it stopped being about competing to get onto the team and just everyone could get on the team. Well, you showed up for tryouts, so you get a jersey.
Losing is an important process of life. You have to understand.
It's a horribly important lesson.
And the funny thing is, like, I'll cite Kenneth, Bad Monkey FPV. He's been on the cast a few times, and I'll cite him as someone that I didn't expect this element of fatherhood to come from this character.
Absolutely agree.
I couldn't be more proud when he talked about his son going and playing soccer, and they didn't win. I think they got third place overall. And they all lined up, and they started to give them trophies, and all the trophies were the same. First place, second place, third place, all the trophies were the same. I think that was the story.
Oh, my God.
And he was just confused and was like, why are you giving them trophies? Like, they're not all equal. Like, eighth place is not the same.
No.
And the parents were just aghast, like, well, they might feel bad. It's like, good.
Good. They should feel bad so that they can work harder.
And it's not about like wrecking them emotionally or psychologically.
No.
It's just understanding. Well, you know, if you want that, you got to work a little bit harder for it. And you worked your butt off,
right? And
you got this far, and that's okay. Where you ended up is okay, but just understand that no matter where you fall, I mean, even eighth place. How do you feel about that?
Do better next time, you know? Because if you got 8th place, but you got 12th place the last time.
Yeah, it's a lesson in empathy, too. It's
improved.
It's a lesson in empathy, too. Like, you see that same team that got 12th place, and do you think they're equal to you? Like,
right.
Well, it's a 4-year-old's going to easily say, no, we beat them 7 times.
Exactly.
No. Yeah.
They shouldn't get the same trophy I get. Right.
So that's perspective. So there were 2 other teams that did better than you.
Absolutely. They should get a better prize, but we don't have that. We don't have that outlet for not just the aggression thing, because obviously that's one of the ways that we deal with our things. That's why we have a fight club. But not everybody is like that. Some people, it's all about singing. It's about music. It's about art. It's about whatever that's going on. And sometimes it is just straight up sports, like the regular UIL type sports that are found in schools. But when we don't have a competition for it, when there's no drive to be better, where's the point? That's why we have so many people go, what's the point in this life?
Well,